Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be discussing the 2016 film Undrafted. This movie stars Jim Belushi and Philip Winchester. With this movie, even though I'm a big baseball fan, this movie was pretty dull for a baseball film. Because usually baseball films are usually either a biopic or a team that comes out from nowhere and wins the either the league championship or the World Series or something. This movie is just a story about one particular, and it takes place over the course of one whole game, and it's kind of similar to the last Kamikaze baseball movie, For Love of the Game. It takes place over the course of one game, but this movie does not have, unlike For Love of the Game, Undrafted does not have flashbacks in it. This movie has about one particular player who, on this game takes place on the last day of the baseball draft, and this is kind of like a summer league game, where guys who are either waiting to get drafted or got released from a major league team or a major league team of minor league affiliate, and they play in this league just to keep in shape, or possibly to get noticed by a scout and get signed as an undrafted free agent. But the story really takes place is about one particular player who on the last day of the draft is a very, very good player, one of the best hitters, one of the best college hitters. Fortunately, he just got the word that he did not get drafted, and of course he's upset over it. His teammates were upset over it, or the guys he plays with in the summer league, they're all upset over it. And this game takes place. This game is about like the semifinal. Whoever wins this game goes to plays in the finals in the summer league. So it's a big thing. At least even though this league means nothing, in baseball it's really a nothing league and nothing playoff system. Is the guy who didn't get drafted decided to play in the league anyway. His father was played by James Belushi, and he's trying to talk about, oh, you don't have to play, yada yada yada. And the player says, look, I want to play. And the player was considering not to retire from playing if he doesn't get signed, because he was that upset that he didn't get drafted, and it says because he got passed over. I mean, there's something about him that the other teams didn't want to draft for some reason, or all three teams didn't want to draft this guy, and he's trying to figure out why nobody will draft him, and this is all going on throughout the whole game. And yet other players telling him their stories about how it's really about not just himself, but other players who didn't make the cut and were trying to make it in the minor leagues and get promoted to the majors, and for one reason or another either get injuries or they just didn't have the stuff to make it to the majors, or other teams felt that they didn't have the stuff to get to the majors, so they get cut. So it's really about all the players who, they're good players but not great ones. And it's really about their story playing, they got together and playing in this league. And it's really about, players who don't make it. Because 9 times out of 10, players in the minor leagues don't make it to the major leagues. Because of injuries or they didn't or weren't good enough. So this is what this movie's about. It takes place over the course of this playoff game in this summer league, and it is a very slow paced movie. Because like I said, it takes place over this one whole game. I thought it takes place over the course of a season. This guy's trying to get drafted, and then at the end of the movie he gets drafted. He gets signed as an undrafted free agent. That's how I thought the movie was going to go. And unfortunately, it did not go there. And that's why I felt it was disappointing to an extent. because usually a movie like this, a player gets drafted in the end. Usually in a movie like this, or a story like this, in a baseball film, is usually the guy gets drafted in the end, and he gets signed by a major league team at the end, a major league team at the end, and eventually makes it into the major leagues. Which I feel the baseball movies don't really. One segment they don't really touch on that much is how hard it is to actually get to the major leagues. Bo Durham tried to do that. I felt that it failed. We mostly focus on sex instead of how actually hard it is to get to the major leagues. They did that a little bit with Kevin Costner's character, Crash Davis, but to me, it didn't really properly focus on how actually tough it is to get to the major leagues for guys coming out of college or in high school. But in this film, they tried to touch on that. In the movie Undrafted, they tried to touch on that, and it's again they had like the Bo Durham syndrome, was that they don't properly really focus on how really tough it is to get to the major leagues. And let's say a major league team has like, let's say 200 players in the system, you're lucky to get 5. 4 or 5 of them get to the major leagues. That's how hard it is, and how what a big long shot it is to get to the major leagues. And Jim Belushi character says, or such a, even mentioned that in the movie, says how hard it is to get into the major leagues. Which it is. And he does wish there was a baseball movie that actually focuses on that. And focuses on how really, really, really tough and how hard and how long the odds are for a player. They have all the talent in the world that doesn't make it to the major league. That's what the main character is. It's one of those players with all the talent in the world, but he does it. He doesn't even get a shot getting into minor league ball. And that's really what all the stories are. And of course, at the end of the game, the team called the D-backs does win the game and goes on to the championship in the summer league. But of course, at the end, the main character decided to retire from baseball. He never got drafted, never got a shot at playing in the major leagues. He decided to become a teacher, got married, had a couple of kids. And they had that, they flashed it on the screen. And as a matter of fact, the guy who wrote the story is actually the person who never got drafted. The person who wrote the story, wrote and directed this movie, was the guy who, or the main character of this movie who never got drafted. So I didn't even know this is based on a true story. That the guy he never got drafted. And there's so many guys who are good enough to maybe even get a professional contract with a team, never gets drafted. And that's what this guy is one of the few who never got drafted. And they focus on him. But the movie itself was okay. I mean, it had an interesting premise. But to me it falls flat because what will make the perfect Hollywood ending is that the guy plays this game, gets noticed by his scouts, says, "Hey, we made a mistake, not drafting this guy. Let's sign him to a undrafted free agent signing. Let's sign to a undrafted free agent contract, and gets to the majors. I mean, that'll be the perfect Hollywood ending. But unfortunately, that's not really what happened to this particular character, and it's it's one of those things that happens in sports. But the movie itself, I thought it was an interesting premise, but it falls flat. To me, it falls flat at the end because like I said, it covers one whole game. You actually do pretty much see the entire game. It was a 7-inning game, and the only part that was kind of fun, or at least the real funny part, was not really funny in the beginning, but it's funny at the end. There's one of the catchers the catcher on the Diamondbacks gets run over and injured, and had taken away in an ambulance, and the D-backs players, his team just gets pissed off that there was you really can't bowl over a catcher like that in this league. So, of course, the fight, and of course, two of the players got arrested. The D-back players got arrested. So they're in the car, and then the police car, and the cops deciding to stay there in case there's another fight, break it up, and because okay, focus the mirror on the field so we can see what's going on. So they kind of had to adjust the minutes. Okay, so yeah, and they were going, and of course when the Diamondbacks won the game, they were in the back and seeing them going crazy, celebrating inside the car, and the cops let the two players go, so go celebrate with the team and drop the charges and stuff. But there was really the only real funny part in this whole movie with the two guys in the car going nutsy cuckoo because the team won the game and won advanced in the playoffs. But like I said a couple times already, the movie really falls flat. And I like baseball movies. But I thought it was an interesting premise because of the guy didn't get drafted and gets picked at the end or whatever. But that didn't happen. So I thought that was a disappointment. To end the movie like that. And that's what they decided. What they decided to do as for the ending of this movie. That's because it happened to a story. Doesn't mean it was a good movie, good way to end the movie, in my opinion. I think in The Natural, the same thing. In the novel, The Natural, Ryan Hobbs strikes out, but naturally there's not a good Hollywood ending, and he hits the light tower, in the playoff game, and the Knights win the game because they gave it a Hollywood ending. But they could have done the same thing in this from Undrafted, and it didn't work. It doesn't. And we decided to keep the story as it is and not give it a Hollywood ending that this movie deserves. So it's a disappointment all the way around. So that's the movie, my review of the movie Undrafted. Please click on the video, please rate it, feel free to comment on it, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at RowdyC.com. There's OWDY, the letter C.com. There's a homepage of Rowdy Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. Please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.